राम सर्वेभ्यः हृत्पूर्वकनमस्काराः। प्रवेशकक्ष्यायां सर्वेषां स्वागतम्। अद्यतनपाठः 10मः पाठः अस्ति। गतकक्ष्यायाम् अस्माभिः 9मः पाठः पठितः। अद्य 10मपाठं पठिष्यामः। तदनन्तरम् 11 पाठे शब्दाः सन्ति। 12 पाठे प्रश्नपत्रिका अस्ति। A warm welcome to all of you to class 89 of Pravesha. So today's lesson is the 10th lesson, which is essentially one of the final lessons for this course. So after this, we have lesson 11, where we are going to learn some shabdas, which you have already learned. So we have covered many shabdas in class, like Rama, Tad, Asmad, Yushmad, Rama, Vanam, etc. There are a few more shabdas in 11, which we may not be learning all of them in class, but maybe just a few, and others are for you to read and memorize. Chapter 12 is the question paper. So essentially, we have come almost to the concluding chapter of the course. So let us begin as usual with Guru Vandanam and Mangala Shlokaha. Sarve Guru Vandanam vadantu, Mangala Shlokadvayancha vadantu iti prarthaye. गुरुरेव गतिर्गुरुमेव भजे गुरुणैव सहास्मि नमो गुरवे न गुरोः परमं शिशुरस्मि गुरोः मतिरस्ति गुरौ मम पाहि गुरो ब्रवीमि संस्कृतं वाचा ध्यायामि संस्कृतं हृदा कुर्वे सेवाञ्च कायेन वन्दे संस्कृतमातरम् यो नरः संस्कृतव्योम्निह्यालयं रमते मुदा संस्कृतिं चैव संस्कारम् विन्दते नात्र संशयः। संस्कृतवाङ्मयपरिचयः पुनरावर्तनमस्ति एतत्. This is just a brief revision. गतसप्ताहे अस्माभिः उत्तररामचरितस्य विषये किञ्चिदिव ज्ञातम्. उत्तररामचरितं भवभूतेः नाटकम्. उत्तरे रामचरिते भवभूतिः विशिष्यते इति अस्माभिः पठितम्. तत्र रामायणस्य उत्तरकाण्डस्य कथाम् आधृत्य भवभूतिः रचितवान् उत्तररामचरितं. The plot is based on the final or the 7th kanda, Uttarakanda of Srimad Ramayanam of sage Valmiki. And we briefly saw what was the plot of Uttara Ramacharitam. Subhashitam asmabhihi pathitam gata saptahe. न किंचित् सहसा कार्यं कार्यविदा क्वचित् क्रियते चेत् विविच्यैव तस्य श्रेयः करस्थितम्. न किंचित् कार्यं सहसा कार्यं क्वचित् कार्यं कार्यविदा विविच्यैव क्रियते चेत् तस्य श्रेयः करस्थितम् इति. So we learned that no work should be done, not even a little bit should be done in haste, by a person who is well versed in work, karyavid. When he does anything, even little bit, kvachit, having duly deliberated and thought about it, vivichya, tasya shreyaha karasthitam. His welfare or success is in his own hands. Idanim dashamaha pathaha, the 10th lesson, Suktihi. Gunaha pujasthanam gunishu nacha lingam nacha vayaha. Gunaha pujasthanam gunishu nacha lingam nacha vayaha. Gunaha, we all know the meaning. Guna in many Indian languages, it means qualities. Here we are referring to good qualities. Qualities which are worthy of emulation, qualities which have to be respected. So such qualities are being referred to here. Gunaha puja sthanam. Puja, is worship. So what is worthy of worship, or who is worthy of worship? Someone who is really worthy of respect for his or her good qualities, etc. And of course, Bhagavan or Devi, Gurus, they are all worthy of worship. So here the Subhashitakara says, Gunaha Puja Sthanam. Gunaha Puja Sthanam. The qualities are worthy of worship. In whom? Gunishu. In among gunis. Guni means a person who has good qualities. Guni is yasya gunaha asti. Saha guni. The ones who have good qualities, so people who have good qualities. Among them, what has to be worshipped? Their good qualities have to be worshipped. Gunaha puja sthanam. Nacha lingam, nacha vayaha. So let us see word by word. Among the people with good qualities, the qualities themselves are worthy of adulation or worship or respect. Na, not, and gender, lingam, vayaha, age. It means what we have to see in each person are the good qualities in them, which have to be worshipped or respected. And their age or their gender is irrelevant. So that is what this Subhashitam means. In virtuous people, their virtues alone or good qualities alone are to be worshipped or revered or respected. Their age and gender are irrelevant. So, basically, there are many Subhashitas like this and many examples. There is one famous line which we have discussed before, one famous, again, Suktihi, Nahi vayaha tejaso hetuhu. So age is not a criterion for brilliance or tejas. So whether a person is young or old, we have to respect and worship the qualities in that person. And whether a person is a man or a woman, a girl or a boy or a child, what have to be worshipped are the qualities and not the age or the gender. So we have examples in small children, like in Bhagavatam, like Dhruva, Prahalada, who are worshipped for their great qualities, though they are very young in age. So age has never been a criterion. And Nachiketa, who got the ultimate knowledge, Atma Vidya, from Yama. So there are many such great people. And also today, Marsana Margashirshoham. So today, Margashirsha Masa is beginning. We know that Andal, Goda Devi, she composed Tiruppavai, that is Pasharams in Tamil on Ranganatha, on Vishnu, and she did the vrata to attain Lord Krishna. During these 30 days, she does that vrata along with her friends, whom she considers as gopikas. So she also was a very young child who was determined to attain Bhagavan, and in her young age, she has composed such great works. So again, an example of how age or gender is not really the criterion which one must look at. It is only the qualities in a person which are to be worshipped, revered, or respected. Like this, we come across many examples. If you take a person like Shabari, she was very old, but her guru had told her, you continue your austerities and you wait, Rama will come. He will give you darshan. At that old age, with being physically very weak, and she duly followed her guru's advice and was following all her austerities when Rama and Lakshmana came and gave her darshan, and ultimately she gave up the mortal form. Again, how she had such great qualities. So we have multiple examples, but only the gist of this is we have to only see the great qualities in a person. The gender or the age or any other aspect is irrelevant. Gunaha puja sthanam, gunishu nacha lingam, nacha vayaha. Idanim saptami vibhaktihi. So we have learnt how each vibhakti has a special function. So in that way, we learned about Prathama, Sambodhana Prathama, Dvitiya, Tritiya, Chaturthi, Panchami, Shashti. So in the final in the sense, I mean, like I said, the 10th lesson is where we conclude learning all these subhashitas, etc. Each lesson has a pattern, if you see. There is a grammar aspect, and then you have vyavaharika shabdaha, then you have subhashitam, sangrahya vishayaha. So that way, this particular pattern which is there for each lesson concludes in lesson 10. After that, 11 is shabdas, like I said. 12th lesson has question papers for practice. So, अस्मिन् पाठे वयं सप्तमी विभक्तेः विषये पठिष्यामः. Locative case, very straightforward. You all already would have been introduced to it. So, Ramah phalam hastena lakshmanaya vrikshat samudratate dadati. So, Ramah phalam samudratate dadati. Look at these. So, these are what we look at in Saptami. Samudratate. Kutra iti prashnasya uttaram Saptami vibhaktau bhavati. So, kutra is where. So, when we ask the question where, then we get the answer in Saptami Vibhakti. So, what does it show? It shows the location, locative case. Samudra tate dadati. On the banks of the ocean or on the seashore. Dadati. Kada dadati dashavadane. When? At 10 o'clock. So, any time. So, basically, kada athava kutra. These two questions. These are the common usages for Saptami Vibhakti. So whenever we use kada or kutra, then the answer would be in Saptami. Balika kada nrityati. Balika sayankale nrityati. Balika balakah kutra kridati. Balakah kridangane kridati. Kridangane, in the playground. The boy plays in the playground. Kridangane is in Saptami Vibhakti. Balika sayankale nrityati. The girl dances in the evening. Sayankale is in Saptami Vibhakti. So all these words which show either a location or time, they are in Saptami Vibhakti. Adhikaranam, that is Saptami Vibhakti. Let us see more examples. इदानीं अस्माभिः ज्ञातम् इदानीमेव वेर् इत्युक्ते कुत्र, वेन् इत्युक्ते कदा. वाहनानि मार्गे सञ्चरन्ति. The vehicles move on the road or in the road. क्रीडाङ्गणे, अरण्ये, vane, shalayam, sabhayam, bhanuvasare, asande, kate. All these are examples of Saptami Vibhakti. Saha asande upavishati. He sits on the chair. So where? On. So in or on. Location. Asande is in Saptami. Shalayam chatraha patham pathanti. Shalayam kutra. Where? Shalayam. In the school. Sabhayam mahapurushaha santi. In the sabha there are great people. Sabhayam kutra. In the sabhayam. Bhanuvasare pravesha kakshya bhavishyati. On Sunday there is pravesha kakshya. Bhanuvasare. On Sunday. So again it is telling you kada. So all these kutra or kada, remember these two. We have learned sapta kakaraha in the previous lesson. So kutra means where, kada means when. The answer to these two questions is in Saptami Vibhakti. Then there are certain other, this is the Samanya niyama, that is the usual niyama. Then we have other places where Saptami Vibhakti is used. So one is Vishaya Saptami. That is when there is certain emotion associated with the subject. Emotion, love, anything. So in that way, some kind of a response, like an emotion associated with the subject. In that way, in that particular context also, Saptami is used. So some interest, expression, emotion. For example, Tasya Rame Bhaktihi Asti. He has devotion in Rama. So Bhakti, that expression or emotion or devotion is there in Rama. Tasya Rame Bhaktihi Asti. And here another example on the screen. Daridreshu pritihi bhavatu. Let there be love towards the less privileged or towards the poor. Let there be love towards in the poor. Daridreshu pritihi bhavatu. Jyeshthe shraddha bhavatu. Jyeshthe. In elders or in Jyeshthe is singular. So in the elderly, let there be, or in the elder, let there be faith. So, Matirasti Gurau, we chant that shloka. Gurau Matihi Asti. There it's actually, it can be, you can consider it as locative also, or it could also be considered as an emotion there. So, my mind, Matihi Asti Gurau, my mind is in the Guru. So, there also we have Saptami Vibhakti. Rame Bhaktihi Bhavatu, we already learned that. Certain examples here. Krishnasya Lalate Tilakam Asti. In the forehead of Krishna or on the forehead of Krishna, there is a tilaka. Radha Vane Viharati. Viharati Vane Radha. This expression as Viharati Vane Radha is actually from it's from a verse in Jayadeva's Gita Govindam. So just that has Saptami, so I just included that example here. Vane Saptami Vibhaktau Asti Vane iti padam. Viharati is to walk or to stroll in a leisurely manner. Viharati, that expression is used in a context where someone is strolling around or walking in a leisurely way. So Radha walks around, or Radha strolls in the forest. Etasmin grihe panchajanaha santi. In this house, etasmin grihe panchajanaha santi. There are 5 people in this house. Atra pashyatu. Lalate saptami vibhaktau asti. Vane saptami vibhaktau asti. Etasmin grihe saptami vibhaktau asti. Bhavan asande upavishatu. Please sit on the chair. Here actually the last sentence, Ratrau Chandraha Drishyate. Here it is not location, it is answering the question Kada, when. Kada Chandraha Drishyate, Ratrau Chandraha Drishyate. When is the moon seen? The moon is seen at night. This is answering the question Kada. Let's move to the next slide. Kate upavishya bhaktaha gayanti. Sa dvare tishtati. She stands at the door, or she stands near the door. In dvare is at the door. So basically when someone is at the door, we say sa dvare tishtati. So there dvare is in Saptami. Suptasya simhasya mukhe kaf pravishati is actually part of, similar to a subhashitam which you all might have heard. Nahi suptasya simhasya pravishanti mukhe mrigaha. So subhashitakara here says udyamena hi siddhyanti karyani na manorathaihi nahi suptasya simhasya pravishanti mukhe mrigaha. Meaning mukhe, into the mouth of a sleeping lion, no animal will enter, right? So the lion has to do its work of going and hunting. Udyamena hi siddhyanti karyani. Only by work, by effort will you get will works get done. Na manorathaihi, not by just thinking. If a lion sleeps and thinks that prey will come to it into its mouth, it won't happen. So next line is suptasya simhasya, nahi suptasya simhasya pravishanti mrige mukhe mrigaha. So when a lion is sleeping, the animals or the deer do not enter its mouth voluntarily. This is just a context. Here, mukhe is in the mouth. So, or in the face. Mukham, sometimes it is used in the case of face, sometimes it's used in the case of mouth also. Mukhe is in Saptami. Suptasya simhasya mukhe kaf pravishati. Who will go into a sleeping lion's mouth? Mukhe Saptami vibhaktau asti. Next, a shloka. I mean, this all of you will know. I just thought it will help you to identify the Saptami vibhakti. From Krishna Karanamritam. Kasturi tilakam lalata phalake. We all know this, right? Lalata phalake. In his broad forehead, there is a kasturi tilakam. The tilaka made out of kasturi. Vakshasthale kaustubham. Vakshasthale is on his chest, there is the kaustubhamani. So here, this is to help you identify Saptami Vibhakti. Lalata phalake, vakshasthale, nasagre navamauktikam. At the tip of his nose is a new beautiful mauktika, that is pearl. Nasagre navamauktikam karatale venum. And in his hands there is, or in his palms, there you have the venu, the flute, karatale, that is also in Saptami. So whatever is there as a beautification or as what we associate with Krishna, so that particular part is in Saptami. So lalata phalake, in his broad forehead there is kasturi tilaka. Vakshasthale, in his chest there is kaustubha. Nasagre, their nasagre is in Saptami, at the tip of his nose. Nasagre navamauktikam, karatale venum, kare kankanam, kankana, armlets in his hands. Sarvange harichandanam, everywhere he is smeared with harichandana, that sandal paste. Sarvange harichandanam cha kalayan kanthe cha muktavalim. So kanthe is in his throat or in his neck. Kantha is neck or throat. So on his neck, what do we have? The muktavali. That is the pearl bead, the mukta, the pearl beads. Gopastri pariveshtito vijayate gopala chudamani. So surrounded by gopikas, this Krishna who has such a beautiful form, he shines. Gopala chudamani. That is the best chudamani, the crown jewel of the Gopalas. So when you see verses like this, you will be able to identify the Saptami Vibhakti. Let me remove the annotations and then we'll move to the next slide. We've learned this. Chatika petikayam asti. The sari is in the box. Petikayam saptamyam asti. So we need to be careful to know, for example, petika is an akaranta strilinga word. So it would be like ramayam, petikayam. Shala is also akaranta strilinga. So shalayam. However, kridanganam is napumsakalinga. Kridangane. For this, we need to know our shabdas. Now we have come to the final vibhakti, Saptami vibhakti. So we need to know all the shabdas thoroughly. Even if we know we have to use Saptami in a particular case, if we don't know how the shabda goes, we will be lost. We will not know what to use there. So we need to know to identify the linga and how the shabda is. Is it like Rama Shabda? Is it Akaranta Pullinga? Is it like Rama, Vanam? It will come with practice. But in Pravesha level, you are introduced to most of the basic words and basic shabdas. So please do memorize all the shabdas and become familiar. Whenever you see a word, try to identify its vibhakti, linga, vachana. And if it is a verb, try to identify what lakara purusha vachana it is. Saraswatyaha haste akshamala rarajate. Saraswatyaha haste. In the hand of Saraswati, there is Akshamala. Akshamala rarajate. The beads or the Akshamala is the beads with aksharas. So that Akshamala, it shines in the hand of Saraswati. Haste Saptami Vibhaktau asti. We learnt this kada kasmin dine tvam kada devam namasi aham pratah kale devam namami. When do you prostrate God? I prostrate to God in the morning. Pratah kale. Pratah kale saptamyam asti. Balakah kasmin dine Bhagavad Gitam pathati. Balakah Guruvasare Bhagavad Gitam pathati. When does the boy read Bhagavad Gita? The boy reads the Bhagavad Gita on Thursday. Vayam kada milamaha? Vayam panchavadane milamaha. When do we meet? We will meet at 5 o'clock. Panchavadane iti padam saptamyam sti. Then we also learned this Vishaya Saptami to show interest, respect, devotion, love, some kind of an emotion, expression. There we use Saptami. Mama chittalayah rame sada bhavatu. May my mind always be engrossed in Rama. So here it is also showing devotion and location of like, let my mind always be in Rama, that kind of a usage. Rame Saptami Vibhaktau asti. Krishne Mahati Bhaktihi Sada Astu. May there be great or supreme devotion in Krishna. Mahati means great or supreme. And here the word Bhaktihi is in Strilinga. So as you move forward, you will learn how to use adjectives. So the golden rule is an adjective should always, adjective is a word which qualifies a noun. Visheshanam, we say in Sanskrit. Visheshanam, an adjective should always be in the same linga vibhakti vachana as the noun. This is another important rule to remember while constructing sentences. Yallingam yadvachanam yacha vibhaktihi visheshanasya tallingam tadvachanam sacha vibhaktihi visheshanasyapi or visheshanasya. So whatever, yat lingam, what is the linga, the gender? Yad vachanam, what is the vachanam? Yacha vibhakti, vibhakti, the word is in Strilinga. So yacha vibhaktihi, whichever is the vibhakti of the visheshyasya. Visheshya is the noun which is qualified. So whichever noun is qualified by the adjective, that noun. Tallingam, same linga, same gender. Tadvachanam, same number. Sacha vibhaktihi, same vibhakti. Visheshanasya, that same vibhakti is of the visheshanam or the adjective also. Basically, it means that the adjective follows the noun in linga vibhakti vachana. So here the word bhaktihi is a strilinga word. So we use, because bhaktihi is in strilinga ekavachanam prathama vibhaktihi. Here mahati is also in strilinga prathama vibhaktihi ekavachanam. Krishne mahati bhaktihi sada astu. May there be great supreme or supreme devotion in Krishna always. Sada here, always is left out in the translation. Sada means always. So I hope this is clear. Krishne iti padam saptami vibhaktau asti. We are continuing with Vishaya Saptami. Vyakarane mama asaktihi asti. I have interest in grammar. Samskrite mama asaktihi asti. I have interest in Sanskrit. So this word Vyakarane is in Saptami Vibhakti. Sangeetabhyase mama asaktihi asti. Sangeetabhyase. In the practice of Sangeetam or Sangeeta, that is music. I have interest. Sarvesham balakeshu pritihi asti. Everyone has love for children. balakeshu. Okay, so these are certain examples of Saptami Vibhakti. Then Nirdharana Shashti or Saptami. Nirdharana Shashti or Saptami, this is another place where we use either Shashti or Saptami Vibhakti. So we have learnt this when we learnt Shashti Vibhakti in the previous lesson. So we learnt Pandavanam Dhananjayah, Muninam Vyasaha, Masanam Margashirshoham. Krishna says in the 10th chapter of the Gita, I told you. So there, whenever we are choosing or distinguishing or separating a particular thing or a person from a universal set, from a class, then we use Shashti. In the same context, Saptami can also be used. We have learned that we use Shashti when we say, for example, Rutunam Kusumakaraha. Among the seasons, I am spring. When Bhagavan says Ritunam, there Shashti is used. Because Bhagavan is distinguishing one season or separating or saying that this season is the best among those. So when there is that distinguishing factor or when you are separating, then we use Shashti. In the very same context, even Saptami can be used. So here are certain examples. It is called Ganat Prithak Karanam Nirdharanam iti uchyate. Ganat Prithak Karanam. Ganat from a group or a class or a universal set. Prithak Karanam to distinguish or to separate or to remove. Nirdharanam ityuchyate. So that is called Nirdharana. There Shashti or Saptami are used. Vedanam or Vedeshu Rigvedaha Prathamaha. Vedanam is in Shashti, Vedeshu is in Saptami Bahuvachanam. You can either say Shashti or Saptami. Vedanam Rigvedaha Prathamaha or Vedeshu Rigvedaha Prathamaha. Among the Vedas, Rigveda is the first. Pandavanam Yudhishthiraha Jyeshtaha or Pandaveshu Yudhishthiraha Jyeshtaha. Among the Pandavas, Yudhishthira is the eldest. Nadinam Ganga Pavitra or Nadishu Ganga Pavitra. Among the rivers, Ganga is holy. Vrikshanam or Vriksheshu Narikela Vrikshaha Unnataha. Vrikshanam, among the trees, or you can use Shashti or Saptami. Narikela Vrikshaha Unnataha. The coconut tree is tall. Seemantinishu Sita Shanta. There is actually a shloka, Seemantinishu Ka Shanta. There is a shloka which comes that way. Seemantinishu, among the ladies, Sita is Shanta, very peaceful. Kavyeshu Natakam Ramyam. We learnt this. Among the different types of works, Kavyas, Natakam Ramyam. The play or the genre of a Natakam, the play is beautiful. So we can say Kavyeshu or Kavyana. So similarly, in all the other sentences, Nirdharana Shashti or Nirdharana Saptami. There is another usage called Sati Saptami, which probably is not there in your textbook, but we have discussed this before. And I'm just looking at your, I don't think we have Sati Saptami given in your textbook. It is a very interesting usage. I will see if I can include maybe 1 or 2 slides in the presentation, and maybe we can also discuss in the next class. Sati Saptami Prayoga is where there is a Jnapya Jnapaka Bhava. So Jnapya Jnapaka Bhava is, let me just write it on the screen. Sati Saptami is good to know. It's a very important concept in Sanskrit grammar. Sati Saptami is when there are two events happening, and it is indicative of some time basically. And one event helps us to remember the other event. So one event happens and then the other helps us to remember the event. In such context, Sati Saptami is used. For example, Rame Rajyam Prashasati Janaha Santushtaha Asan. So Rame Rajyam Prashasati Janaha Santushtaha Asan. So there are two things here. Rame Rajyam Prashasati, that is, Rama was ruling the kingdom, and Janaha Santushtaha, the people are happy. So when Rama was ruling the kingdom, the people were happy. So Rama's rule reminds us of people's happiness. So here, Rame isn't Saptami. Rame Rajyam Prashasati Sati. Sati you can use, or you can leave the Sati out also. You don't have to say Sati every time. But Rame Rajyam Prashasati Sati Janaha Santushtaha Asan. When Rama was ruling, then people were happy. So here Rame Rajyam, Rame is in Saptami, Prashasati is also in Saptami Vibhakti. So Rame Rajyam Prashasati Sati Janaha Santushtaha Asan. So this is a very important rule in Sanskrit. One more example is Udite Surye Andhakaraha Nashtaha. Udite Surye Sati Andhakaraha Nashtaha. So Udite Surye, when the sun rises, Andhakaraha Nashtaha, the darkness was dispelled. So when the sun rose, the darkness was dispelled. Again, two events happening. Udite Surye, that is in Saptami Vibhakti. Surye, you all know, it's like Rama Shabda, Surye Rame. Andhakaraha Nashtaha. So this is called Sati Saptami Prayoga. It is not there at Pravesha level, but it is definitely there maybe at Shiksha level, maybe at the third exam level or so you will learn. But you will come across many Sati Saptami Prayogas in the works in Sanskrit, either in shlokas or in texts, etc. So you can just remember that apart from the rules given in your textbook, there is a very interesting aspect called Sati Saptami Prayoga. Okay, now before we go to the Shabda Rupani, we will just go through a few examples from your textbook. Like I have said, every class we are not really giving you the textbook verbatim. Our examples here will be different. So please, all of you, make it a point to go through your textbook sentences also. So we will see some examples. Kamalani kasare santi. Lotuses are in the lake. Kasare saptamyam asti. Pushpani latayam vikasanti. Flowers bloom in creepers or on the creeper. Latayam. So latayam is in singular. So it should be flowers bloom on the creeper, not creepers. We have to be careful while using the number. Latayam, we should say creeper. Latasu, we should say creepers. So the number we should be very clear. Parnani bhumyam patanti. Leaves fall on the ground. Chatraha kakshyasu upavishanti. Students sit in classrooms. Bhaktihi shambhau bhavatu. So here we learned Vishaya Saptami. Bhaktihi shambhau bhavatu. Let there be devotion in Shambhu. Shambhu. Shambhau is in Saptami Ekavachanam. Vahanani margeshu sancharanti. We already discussed this. Samudre mauktikani bhavanti. Pearls are in the ocean. This is again locative case. I'm not reading out all. I am just reading out a few here and there. Rishayaha Bharata Deshe Asan. The rishis were in Bharata Desha. Bharata Deshe is in Saptami. Matru Bhumau Pritihi Bhavatu. Let there be love in motherland. Let there be love in motherland. That is, or let there be devotion in motherland. Love for motherland. And that way, Matru Bhumau, that word is in Saptami Vibhakti. Jyeshteshu Adaram Darshaya. Show respect towards elders. Jyeshteshu. That is in Saptami Vibhakti. Samaja Sevayam Pravrittihi Bhavatu. Indulge in social work. So Samaja Sevayam. That is in Saptami Vibhakti. Bhavatu. Idanim, we will see the rules they have given in your textbook. We have already learned answer to the question Kutra and Kada, word expressing something on which one sits, stands, etc. Locative case has to be used for a word which denotes liking, devotion, respect, etc. So these we have already discussed, these rules of Saptami. Idanim Shabda Rupani. As usual, I think like we have been doing, I will request some of you to read these. Lakshmi Bhagini, Lakshmi Jayaraman Bhagini, Kripaya Pathatu. You can read the first four Bhagini.
Rame, Ramayoho, Rameshu, Hari Pullinga, Harau, Harayo,
Haryo,
Harishu.
Harishu, Harishuna, Harishu.
Pati Pullinga, Patyau, Patayoho,
Patyoho.
Patishu. Guru Pullinga, Gurau, Gurvoho, Gurushu.
Uttamam Bhagini, I don't know if you heard, but just for clarifying for others' sake, we have to read it as Patyoho, not Patayoho. It is Patyoho. Similarly, Haryoho and Harishu, Patishu. We should not read it as Harishu, Patishu. We should be very clear in differentiating the Harasva and the Dirgha. That is the short letter and the long letter. Harau, Haryoho, Harishu. Patyau, Patyoho, Patishu. Uttamam Bhagini. Idanim Geeta Bhagini.
Hari Om Bhagini.
Hari Om.
कृपया शब्दानि वदतु. पितृशब्दः सप्तमी विभक्ति. पितृशब्दः पुल्लिङ्गः. पितरि, पित्रोः, पितृषु. रमा शब्दः.
Let us not say Shabda, let us just say Rama Strilinga. Shabda generally refers to the entire table.
Okay. Rama Strilinga. Ramayam, Ramayoho, Ramasu. Mati Strilinga. Matyam अथवा मतौ. Matyoho, Matishu. Nadi Strilinga. Nadyam, Nadyoho, Nadishu.
Uttamam Bhagini. Dhanyavada. Very clear on Hrasva, Dirgha. Next. Sujata Rani Bhagini.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Shri Strilingaha. Shriyam. Shriyi. Shriyoho. Shrishu. Denu Strilingaha. Denvam. Denau. Denvaha. Sorry.
Denvoho.
Denvoho. Denushu. Matru Strilingaha. Matari. Matroho. Matrushu. Pala Napumsakalingaha. Pale. Palayoho. Palesu.
Paleshu.
Paleshu.
The sh should be clear, Bhagini. Sh.
Paleshu.
Uttamam. Dhanyavadaha. Vasanti ji, Vasanti Bhagini.
Ram Ram Bhagni.
Ram Ram.
Vari Napunsakalingam. Varini. Varinoho. Varishu.
Varini.
Varini.
Huh.
Varinoho. Varishu.
Varishu. Vari, slightly a dirgha is heard. So,
Varishu.
Uttamam. Next one.
Dadhi. Napunsakalingam.
Mm.
Dadni.
Mm.
Dadhani. Athwa dadhani.
Huh.
Dandoho.
Dadnoho.
Sorry. Dadnoho.
Dadhi. Okay. Actually,
Dadhishu.
just a second, Bhagini. Here it is Dandoho is given. I will just check this. I will check this particular word and I will get back. Okay, then next one. Madhu.
Madhu. Napunsakalingam. Madhuni. Madhunoho. Madhushu.
So these two I will, Madhunoho should be correct, but I will anyway check these two again and revert to you in by the next class. Did you read 4, Bhagini?
3.
3. Okay, and the next one also. Just a second. Yeah, I'll change the slide. Yes.
Tad. Pullinga Shabdaha. Pullinga. Tasmin. Tayoho. Teshu.
Uttamam, Bhagini.
Thank you.
Dhanyavadaha. Idanim Satyavani Bhagini. Agre to Ram Ram. Till Etad Strilinga you can read.
Yeah. That's Strilingaha. Tasyam tayoho tasu. That Napunsalingaha. Tasmin tayoho teshu. Etad Pullingaha. Etasmin etayoho eteshu. Etad Strilinga. Etasyam etayoho etasu.
Uttamam, Bhagini.
Thank you.
Uttamam, Dhanyavadaha. I just checked Madhu Shabda for all of you, which I said I will do in the previous slide. So Madhu is Madhunoho. That is correct. What did we read? Yes, this is correct. Madhunoho is correct. Dadhi, I'm checking. I will just get back to you on Dadhi. Madhunoho is correct. Ukarantaha, Napumsakalingaha, Madhu Shabdaha, Madhuni, Madhunoho, Madhushu. That is correct usage. So let us go ahead with Tad. Etad idani. Sujata Rani Bhagini, did you read?
Yeah, I read.
Okay. Dhanyavadaha. Next, who is, okay, I don't see. Shivalingam Mahodaya. Agre Pathatu.
Etat Strilingam. Etyam.
Punah ekavaram.
Just recently joined now.
Oh, okay. No problem. You can read it again. I said you can read it again.
Etat Strilingam. Etasyam. Etayoho. Etasu.
Uttamam.
Etat Napunsakalingam. Tasmin. Etayoho. Etoshu. Eteshu. Idam Pullingam. Asmin Anyoho,
Anayoho.
Anayoho,
Hmm.
Enayoho, Yeshu.
Yes.
Idam Strilingam Asyam Anayoho, Enayoho, Asu.
Uttamam. Uttamam,
Dhanyavada.
Mahodaya. So, very good. You're able to read correctly, though you have joined newly. You can please go through whoever has joined newly, please go through the PPTs and the previous recordings, and also please start from the introductory classes. If you remember, we had a few introductory classes before we started the lessons. So please start from there and you will be able to follow. Any doubts, you can always ask us.
Sure, Bhagini.
Dhanyavadaha, Mahodaya. I think there is one more slide for the Saptami Vibhakti Rupani. I will read it out. Idam asmin anayoho enayoho eshu adas pullinga amushmin amuyoho amishu adas strilinga amushyam amuyoho amushu adas napumsakalinga amushmin amuyoho amishu sarva pullinga sarvasmin sarvayoho sarveshu sarvastrilinga sarvasyam sarvayoho sarvasu sarva napumsakalinga sarvasmin sarvayoho sarveshu yad pullinga yasmin yayoho yeshu. You know yad goes like tad only. Yad strilinga yasyam yayoho yasu yad napumsakalinga yasmin yayoho yeshu. Kim again it goes like tad. Kasmin kayoho keshu, kasyam kayoho kasu, kasmin kayoho keshu. Yushmad tvayi yuvayoho yushmasu, asmad mayi avayoho asmasu. Okay, so I hope this is clear. Now, Geeta Krishnamurti ji, I think I can't follow. In English, if you write, sometimes the spelling is not accurate. Dadhnoho is what is the word. I think when we wrote the first time on the slide, it was written as danhoho. So that was the change. Oh, you're saying it seems to be correctly typed. Let me also check it. Pravesha, Parichaya classes, we will let you know when they're going to commence. It would be after Pravesha. Okay. So any other doubts, you can please email me. Next Saturday, in all likelihood, you may not have the Abhyasa class. So please, we will continue with the lessons and the Abhyasas. When Sudha Bhagini posts the Abhyasa, this will be covered. Whatever we have done in these classes will be covered and we will take up the Abhyasa. So let us conclude as usual with Shanti Mantraha. सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. So next Saturday, sorry, I had to announce this before, on 23rd of December, we have Vaikunta Ekadashi and Geeta Jayanti next Saturday. So for Vaikunta Ekadashi, there will be Vishnu Sahasranama chanting in the morning. You would have received the online link to join. You can join either on YouTube Live or I think the Zoom link has been shared. And in the afternoon at 3:30, we will be chanting all the 700 verses, all the 18 chapters of Srimad Bhagavad Gita on the occasion of Gita Jayanti. That is 23rd on Saturday. So please, all of you remember and join us for the chanting. Dhanyavadaha. Ram Ram Ram. Punarmilamaha.